remarks from Coach Robinson, and then we'll open it up to questions. Coach Robinson.
Hey, good morning. Appreciate everyone coming out here, and we're just happy to be here. Great time. We want to really thank the Orange Blossom Classic, title sponsor Denny's, for having us down here, inviting us to come to this rendition of the Orange Blossom Classic. Very appreciative of that, and we want to just come down here and put on a really good show for the whole Miami area, Miami Gardens. I got two young men with me. Both are state champions from Miami Central High School. I'll add that. And just leaders in our community. I'll start off with Stephon Young-Roll, number 9, and he wears number 9. Alabama State was founded in 1867, and the history is the Marion 9, who were 9 freed slaves, raised $500 to start Alabama State, and that's the significance of him wearing number 9. It kind of symbolizes the person on the team who most embodies the tradition, the history, the perseverance it took to start the Alabama State Normal School, Alabama State College, and now Alabama State University. And he definitely ensembles everything that we talk about being a Hornet in the tradition of Alabama State. And then Robert McMinn, also Miami Central grad, and here at Alabama State University is our punt returner, kickoff returner, all-conference special teams guy, and also a pretty good receiver. His nickname is Flash, which means he's pretty fast, and so we're excited to have him as a part of our team. We have 23 guys from the state of Florida on our team, and we have 13 from the South Florida area. So we have a big alumni down here, and so we want to come down here and play a good game. We're a very good opponent, North Carolina Central. Picked to finish first in the MEAC, so we know it'll be a tough fight to the end. We're expecting a very hardcore competition, and we're going to go out there and give our very best and try to get this season off to start off with a win.
Thank you very much, Coach Robinson. Now we're going to open it up to questions. And a reminder, if you have a question, please raise your hand. A microphone will be brought to you. When you receive the microphone, please state your name, your affiliation, and to whom you are asking the question of. We are now open for questions.
Good morning, Coach and athlete. I am Johnny Lewis, Battery Magazine. I wanted to ask the previous team that how you dealing with the portal subsequently for the change, how you handling it, or how you handling the change, and so on and so forth. But an additional question that I would like to ask, that's including the coach as well as the athlete, is the NIL system. How is it changing your organization, and how you, the coach, is dealing with it with the athlete?
What was the last thing you said?
The NIL.
NIL.
Yes,
Okay,
how
Coach,
you dealing with it?
If you can use the microphone, they'd like you to do so. Thank you.
Absolutely. So for me, first of all, I think it's all about relationships. So that's how we handle the transfer portal. And I think you have to recruit on a 2-year cycle. So as opposed to having a team over a 4 or 5 year period, you're thinking it's going to have a lot of turnover every 2 years. We did a thing last year. We looked at the all-conference guys in a SWAC. And out of the 22 all-conference first-team guys, 18 of them started off at the university. So it tells me the guys that are performing at a high level are the guys that come in as freshmen. Both of these guys came here out of high school to Alabama State. So while we do get kids out of the portal, we realize that it's still very important to sign high school guys. So last year we signed 18 freshmen, 12 walk-ons. We had 30 freshmen on our campus last year and a year before. So we're still building through guys who come and do freshman orientation. They learned about the Marion 9, they learned about the history of Alabama State, and we want those guys as priorities. And then after that, we find transfer portal guys who can kind of fill in the gaps. When you're missing somebody, you're missing a player here or there, and usually they're older guys who are graduate guys, so they'll probably be there for a year or two. And I think from an NIL standpoint, it is important in college football. We all understand that a lot of our student athletes have needs, financial needs, and we want to help them to reach those needs. So at our level, none of these guys are making more than a coach. So it's at a small level, but they still know that they need some additional cost of attendance and those type of things. So it's something that we have to constantly look to improve at to make sure that we have a competitive advantage. And also we're helping out with the needs of the student athletes because they do need the money to do other things with travel back and forth to home, take care of personal items, et cetera, et cetera.
As far as the NIL system, I do think that it's a great opportunity for athletes to take advantage of their name, image, and likeness, because once upon a time, athletes weren't able to do that. So as far as like our level, it's important for people to get out and contact those brands whether they want partnerships or sponsorships with those brands. So I do think that NIL, like Coach was saying, can help out those student athletes with those financial needs, and whether it's helping out their family, whether it's something personal, I do think it's a plus for all student athletes across the country.
Okay, Coach. Question from Kyle Mosley, Sports Illustrated, HBCU Legends. What are the subtle differences between Andrew Body and Jonah O'Brien?
I'm not sure. Not to give away the game plan, but I mean, those guys, they both compete. First of all, they're both competitors. They're both leaders, and that's what you wanted. Obviously, we have two new quarterbacks. Andrew Body came a little bit sooner than Jonah O'Brien. Andrew came in the spring, immediately became a leader in the team. Jonah came in the summertime and just fit right in. So the biggest thing is the team chemistry. Those are the similarities. I think the differences, to me, obviously Body can do a little bit more with his legs. But the good thing for us is that they can both run the entire offense, so that gives us a comfort level of not saying one quarterback is a pure pocket passer, can only do that, and the other one is more pure runner. So I think it's a lot of crossover. I think a lot of similarities. I think it's way more similarities than differences, in my opinion. But the biggest thing is both of them can lead the football team, and that's what you like.
And that's an opportunity, right? So both can play very strong, and then you have the opportunity in the game time to switch the strategy up if you need to. Follow-up question from Kyle. What was or would be the deciding factor in selecting the starter for the Orange Blossom Classic if you haven't already made that decision?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us is trying to realize what the defense is going to give you. So we know it's some carryover from last year to this year. We have a lot of different personnel, so does North Carolina Central. So I think it's going to be a feeling out process in the beginning of the game. And I think whatever strategy you start with, you're probably going to end with that strategy. So they're going to try to figure out what we're doing in the same here. So if something's working more, then I think you move in that direction. But it's impossible to say what direction now to be until the game starts.
Question for Stefan and Robert. Preparation, right? Week 1, Orange Blossom Classic, ESPN. How have you both been preparing individually, but also as a team for the first game of the season?
All right. Individually, I've just been preparing as like just make sure I'm watching film and make sure I get a lot of good mental reps in when I'm not inside practice. And when it's time to get in, I'm just making sure I execute everything right. And just going up to my coach's office one-on-one, just to get like inside details about what's going on and how the defense is playing. Also going to my special team coach, Coach Gresham, talking to him one-on-one also, and just getting inside details about the punter and the kickers, to know how our game plan is going to be ran and stuff like that. But individually, I just been just watching a lot of film about NC North Carolina Central, and just making sure I just do everything I'm supposed to do. That's it.
With me personally, I'll say just doing all the little things right. Starting off the week off, like just mentally, like making sure that I'm like centered, with myself. Making sure that I'm being the best version of myself every day, whether it's like being on time to class, whether it's being on time to meet, is making sure I'm doing everything I got to do during the week, so that when it gets closer time to football, I can just worry about football. So that's what I say for me personally, just making sure I'm hitting all those checkpoints like mentally, so that I can do what I got to do on the field, because I think it's a very big mental game, and I take that part very serious. So, I mean, as well as for me, I watch a lot of film as well. I love to, like, if you know, I love to scout my opponents out, like, on a personal level, just so that I know, like, it's another level to the game, you know what I'm saying? And then as far as the team, I think we've been doing a very great job of understanding what to expect. And, of course, it's the first game of the season, so it's always like a question mark. But I love my guys, and we swarm as one, like our coach say. So we ready to roll with the punches, and we ready to do what we got to do.
Follow-up question. So once the ball kicks 3 p.m. on Sunday, practice, spring game, now to the first game of the season, what are you most excited about when that ball kicks and it's go time? What are you most excited about playing real first game is go time? And this is for all three, Coach and both Robert and
Well, I think for me, unlike the NFL, we don't have any preseason games, so every game counts. So we've had some simulated practices, scrimmages, where we do the whole scenario. We stretch, we warm up, we come out, we come back in the tunnel, we go out. So we try to replicate everything so it's not the first time, especially for the young guys, the freshmen, the transfers. But at the end of the day, it's nothing like the excitement of opening day. Whether it's baseball, football, basketball, NFL, Little League, high school, whatever, the very first game on the opening kickoff, you're making new history, not only in the Orange Blossom Classic, but for Alabama State for the 2024 season. So I think it's just, for me, it's a blessing and something that I don't take lightly, being the head coach of Alabama State University. And just thankful for the opportunity to lead these young men out into a competition, athletic competition, so everybody can fulfill their dreams. We have a lot of guys from this area. Young Rowe can tell you the story when he was on the field with the Miami Dolphins as a little kid. And so, I can think of the first time I went back and played in the Superdome. I was in the NFL at the time, but it still had those memories of my dad used to work at the Superdome, and wow, I'm back in the place that I've always dreamed about being. So I think for the local guys, it's going to be a little bit something special, and I think they can kind of explain that to you, of actually coming back home in an NFL venue. And I think even though it's not an NFL game, just playing in an NFL venue is a little bit something different than playing in the college or high school venue.
All right. So we've been practicing from day one once the year has started. After our last game, we've been kicking it off, having great practices, having great leadership on the team. But once that ball kick off, it's go time. Team, we've been doing everything we had to do from spring, summer, now fall camp, and we just ready to roll and ready to rock. We're gonna give y'all a good show and just ball out.
When that ball kicks off, it's nothing like the first game for me. Preparation all season, ready to hit somebody else that doesn't wear the same color jersey as you is always something excited for. But I mean, I know as well as for me, Flash, Rudy, or anybody else that's from Miami, it's a great feeling to just play in front of your family, because not a lot of people get a chance to do that. So, while I'm playing, I always, love to do what I do for them. So I'm playing with them in the back of my mind, but at the same time, I'm going out as well as with my brothers, with my D-line or the whole team, to do what we got to do, So I always take it as like just another game, because in all it is, so just soaking up everything. But when that ball kick off, we got to be methodical, use intention, and it's go time.
Okay, you kind of alluded to this question that I'm going to ask our student athletes. So I know there's pressure in being a student athlete at any school, Alabama State, one of them. But there's an additional pressure for you two gentlemen being Miami Central Rocket alumni. And I know that people are, well, I don't know if they're calling you, but trying to get in touch with you. Can you get me a ticket? Can I come by to see you? Can you get me in the locker room? What kind of pressure have you had so far in preparation for this game?
You always want to try to take care of everybody, but, due to certain circumstances, you can't always do that. So sometimes you may have to say, hey, I can, or, hey, I can't. But just trying to get everybody as possible to see you is like the end goal, because, like I said, you don't get a chance to play in front of everybody all the time. So just contacting everybody like, hey, I may not be able to get you a ticket, but I can send you the link, you know what I'm saying? So I can send you the link. I still want you to come support me, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I say.
Good.
Basically, same thing he said. I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again?
Okay. Look, the pressure that you have being from the local area, being a Miami Central Rocket, former player, how's that affected you, or has that affected you leading into Sunday's game?
The pressure, it's just been, it haven't really affected me because, like Young Rose said, just if I could get you a ticket, then I could get you a ticket. But if I can't, then hey, send you the link also. But it's just whoever I can get a ticket to, I can just get them a ticket to, and then it's just preparing for the game and just making sure that I just do everything I have to do within that.
And then I would say too, like on another level, like outside of just like the tickets, I would definitely say just playing for Miami Central and coming back here and playing in front of Miami. I think that's that can be a little bit of a pressure just because of like the winning tradition that we built at Miami Central. I've won 2 state championships. Robert has won 1. And we kicked that ball off to get them going like 4 in a row, and they won a national championship the year before last. So, you know, we come from greatness. So when I come out here, just knowing that, you know, I'm a winner down here. So when I go to the crib, I got to win. That's how I feel. So I'm back home, so it ain't no losing when we home. You know, it's the same mentality when we at Trash Power. I love Trash Power. You know, if I can, I'll go play back right now, you know. So I was just telling Flash when we was out on the field, like, if it's a deep ball, I want to hear it blur, you know. But yeah, just playing at Miami Central and winning there, it's the standard that's been set there. And then, you know, just being there, I've set standards for myself, and I don't want to, you know, go below those standards. I want to exceed those standards. So even being at Miami Central helped me to be here. So I'm going into this game trying to win. Well, we will win.
Great. Thank you so much for those responses.